Kremer and his kick-ass radio show. Presented by Kremer.
Carlos Kremer's Kick-Ass Radio Show. We are so excited to have the man, the myth, just a guy who's got more credentials. We don't even have time to go over your credentials. He is three-time Abu Dhabi champion, 8-time world champion, Pan-American champion. I mean, you name it. Andre Galvao in studio today. Andre, Professor, welcome to my show.
It's my pleasure, man. Thank you so much for the opportunity, so I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, you know what? It's such a pleasure to be here. I know you've got a very busy schedule. You're training very hard. Metamoris 4 coming up, everybody, as everyone knows.
Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about this, because this is what people want to know. You against Cheal Sonnen for the main event.
Yeah.
Yeah. How was that when you got the word that you were going to be fighting against Cheal?
Yeah, Metamoris always like to have me fighting there, I felt like this is my third Metamoris fight, super fight. And then Halek was reach me, like calling me, like asking if I want to fight again, and then he came with the propose to fight against Cheal Sonnen, and then I say yes, no problem for me. Let's do it. I'm sure he wants to fight, and he said yeah, he wants to fight. Like, let's do it. I said okay, yeah, no problem. So
and that's
how it works.
Yeah, and that's pretty admirable too. When you said you're sure he wants to fight me in a jiu-jitsu match, right? And so you got to respect him for that.
No, just because I know he's a UFC fighter and everything like that. He's an MMA fighter, and I know in MMA, when you sign a contract, you have deals which is protect you, to not fight this type of event, And I realized Cheal is no longer fighting UFC, so and that's why the fight works, So that's why we're gonna fight each other.
And have you met Cheal? Have you trained with him ever before?
No, I never trained with him, but I met him in the last Metamoris. I was there to coach Kina Cornelius, my student, and I met him in the crowd. I saw him there, and then hey, what's up? I say, yo, what's up, man? And then we shake hands, and he was very respectful, when we met each other. He said, yeah, man, I like your job and things like that. I said, yeah, man. Yeah, good to see you here, that's great, and then that's the only contact I have with him,
I think people are surprised to hear that some of these guys, when you actually meet them, right, not headed into a fight or not right there at the event, that you're fighting with them. Away from that, they're really nice guys, right?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, everybody knows everybody,
Yeah, and Cheal is great because he's such a well-versed guy, and he knows how to pump up a fight really well.
Yeah.
And has a silver tongue for doing so.
Yeah.
Andre, let's talk styles. I mean, you've gone against wrestlers all your life, and as a matter of fact, I believe you've even said before you enjoy going against wrestlers.
Yeah, I haven't fight jiu-jitsu for a long time. I'm black belt since 2005. Almost 10 years black belt. Fighting. I fight DCC since 2007. And I fought a lot of wrestlers, before, and when I moved to the United States, my wrestling improved a little bit, because here, you guys have a great wrestling. I'm here for 4 years, and since I moved, I trained a little bit of wrestling, and I haven't trained with a lot of wrestling, for the last 3-4 years, and I enjoy it. I have fun, training with them, It's not easy, they're really strong, they have a very good endurance, good pace, they keep the pace all the time, they have power, strong, and no gi is a lot about physical as well, so when you're strong, helps you a lot, because you don't have the grips, you don't have the material to hold, but of course the technique is important as well, but it's really hard to submit a wrestler,
Right, especially with a guy like him who's going to want great takedowns as well, right?
Yeah.
So you're going to be leery of that. But he likes a top game like most wrestlers, right?
Yeah, of course. The wrestlers, they don't like to be with their back on the floor. I never met a wrestler which play guard really well, because they have in their mind, like when they have the back on the floor, the guy can pin them. Like in the wrestling match, if you keep your back on the floor for 3 seconds, the fight is over. So they always try to be like away from that position, from that situation. They try to be on top all the time, and that's how they build their game, because like they have a good takedown, and it's hard to sweep them because they have a good base as well, and that's the way they fight.
Right, and it was amazing the fight he had with Anderson Silva.
Yeah.
Where he really took it to Anderson for almost, 4.5 minutes of that 5-minute round.
Yeah.
Into really the whole fight, he was dominating him.
Yeah, he
and then the spider, right? Caught him with a triangle.
Yes.
That had to be one of the most amazing fights we've seen, wasn't it? For you to see that?
Yeah, it was like a Rocky Balboa thing, Anderson got beat up like doing all 4 rounds. All 5 rounds, I believe. It wasn't the
fifth round. Yeah, absolutely right.
Man,
championship fight.
Cheal Sonnen was like, just in the unbelievable shape, like he always is, and he was like punching and taking Anderson down, and everything Anderson was trying to do, it was like wrong. Seems like Anderson has like mistakes, things like that, and at the end of the fight, he find a way to set up a good triangle, and then he finished the fight, and definitely like jiu-jitsu saved his life, that day.
For sure. And that had a little something special for you because you're very tight with Anderson, aren't you?
Yeah.
So that and trained with him many a times. I remember going to your gym, Atos, by the way, in San Diego.
Yeah.
Just where you're, by the way, building a total army of complete studs and studettes. I mean, men and women are coming and flocking to you. You're in a great location. Hey, anybody out there, look up Atos, ATOS, and give them a call in. Do you have anything like a initial
we have a
week?
website like atosjujitsu.com. You guys can go there and see, and from there you guys can set up a week, like a free week. You guys can train with us. Everybody's very welcome there. We have a lot of students right now. We have a strong competition team, but also we have like a family environment. I'm married. My wife trains jiu-jitsu as well. She competes as well. I have my daughter. She's like 8 years old, and she likes to train as well. She's a great belt.
Is she? So she's getting into it too?
Yeah, we have kids class. We have teenagers. We have adults. We have beginners. We have like color belts, which is the advanced class. We have competition team class. I believe like today we have the busiest schedule. Our schedule is like full. We have a lot of class a day, like 8 class a day. So
wow.
Yeah.
And doing those in-house competitions keeps everybody sharp.
Yeah.
And then with the monsters you have over there, when they get in regular competition, right?
Yeah.
It's not a big deal for them.
Yeah. I always say that to my students. I say if you compete or not, you need to know jiu-jitsu. You need to learn jiu-jitsu. The example I give to them is like it's the same way like when someone try to learn how to jump from the plane and how to jump using the parachute, and you need to learn all the skills as a Navy SEAL knows, you know what I mean? So the same way, so you need to know the time you're going to open that, you need to have the technique, in the beginning you're going to jump with someone, but after a while you start to jump alone, you start to learn how to do the things by yourself. So it's the same way in jiu-jitsu, if you compete or not, you need to learn both ways. You need to know the real jiu-jitsu, and the competitor and no competitor, they will learn jiu-jitsu.
Right.
Of course, the competitor, he'll learn like a little bit faster because he competes against guys like in the high level and guys who just train jiu-jitsu all day and they're focusing win medals. And when you have a mistake in a tournament, you want to fix right away. That's why you learn faster. When you have a mistake just training as a hobby, maybe you don't fix because you tap for your friend and things like that, you don't care much,
Right.
But when you lose a tournament, you got frustrated and you want to fix right away, and that's what I say, And the kids, they love to compete. All the parents, they love to have their kids like competing, fighting, and most of my kids they compete, and they win, like it's good because. we have such a great group of instructors there as well, you know, and I'm really focused on that. I always worry about that. I'm there too, like teaching the kids, you know, sometimes teaching everyone. I want to make sure like my students, they learn in real jiu-jitsu, you know.
And how do you pick your instructors teaching under you that are good replications of you, right?
Yeah.
You're very careful on who you select?
Yeah, like when I start in the beginning, I start to teach them together to see the way they teach, you know, and I start to help them. Like I watch the class and see the way they teach, and when I see something, I say, man, you should do this way, you should do that way, you know, maybe it'll be better this way, so the little kid can understand, you know. And that's how I explain them, and that's how I build them. And we have meetings as well, and we have a curriculum as well, which we follow, and we build like a good training for everyone like that.
Beautiful. Everybody, we are so blessed, so happy to have three-time Abu Dhabi world champion, one of the best grapplers in the entire world, Andre Galvao, here in studio. You're listening to Carlos Kremer's Kick-Ass Radio on WS.com, the worldwide leader in Internet talk. You know, Wade, I love that intro. Uncle Junkie, bringing the heat. I'm doing the announcing for their video. The song is called Mr. Badass. And who did we get in as Mr. Badass for that video? Eduardo Telles.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
The Turtle Master.
The Turtle Master, your old buddy.
Yes.
From way back. And
yeah.
We're going to get into that later with your upbringing and TT and, you know, your growth with Tererê and the whole bit. First, we're talking a little Metamoris with the champ. We've got Andre Galvao, three-time Abu Dhabi world champion, a resume that people would only dream of. Jiu-jitsu has given you so much in your life. I mean, just so much. And I want to get into, Andre, as well later about your upbringing, about how you kind of risked it all to come out here to California and San Diego, right? That's some great info too.
Yeah.
Let's get to Metamoris back. You know, Cheal Sonnen, you're going against. Big guy. We were talking on the break. I mean, he's going to probably come in there at 230, 235. How is that? Are you even concerned with the weight? You're, what, 195 we were saying?
Yeah, right now I'm 195, like 200 when I'm in the weekends, you know, like Monday I'm like 200.
After a little relaxation.
Yeah. But, you know, of course, like the size is a good advantage, you know. As I say, like no gis, like a lot of, you know, like the physical is like counts, you know, really counts. But you know, I have my technique, you know, I have my black belt, I have my skills, I have my experience, and I think like this will make the difference, you know, no matter the size. You know?
And now with the guys taking you down, the real true wrestlers like a Cheal who's going to be looking for that. Are you, you know, you have a split second to get a guillotine, right? Or some kind of a choke? Or, you know, is that, and that's always in their mind too, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. Like, you take a risk every time you shoot, like, you give your neck, you know. But Cheal is really good in double legs, and his Greco is really good as well, you know, when he pummeling and set up like a body lock, things like that, you know, and that's like when he's dangerous, you know. And I think like he's not gonna try to shoot like low, you know? Yeah.
Now, if you get that double leg, then that kind of takes away that guillotine choke, doesn't it?
Yeah, but if you don't have the guillotine, the fight just starts.
Right. Many other options, including going to his back.
It's submission only.
Right. Submission only for our fans out there. 20 minutes.
Yes.
Submission only, no points.
Yes. How
in the world, you know, the people want to know how you train for that? Because I know, like me, you know, besides seeing, you know, I watch the super elite guys like you, you know, almost on a daily basis. One time I had the privilege to watch Telles roll with Big Nog, Minotauro Nogueira.
Yeah.
man, they went for like 45 minutes or an hour. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
Is that just something you've built up to over time?
Yeah.
Time in and time again, and you tie in your training as well?
Yeah.
To do that? Your beach running, your, everything that you do?
Yeah, everything. Like, of course, the experience you have, the technique you have. If two black belts in good shape, like they start training, they can train for hours, and of course, it's different when fresh people comes all the time. It's way different. But when you fight with the same guy for like 40 minutes, like 20 minutes, like an hour, you can do that, and no matter the size, because you have the skills, and after like 20 minutes fight, after half an hour, you just like flow, you just like keep going, especially no-gi. I think no-gi, you can do that, easy.
Now, and you have different philosophies and different training partners and different things that you do.
Yeah.
Are you a believer of, rolling with one guy hard and then sending in a fresh new body on you after that to really keep you up?
Yeah, I think this is makes you strong. Awareness, get more focused, because every single time when somebody new comes, the guy is fresh and he tried to come like 100% on you, and you need, even if you're tired, you gotta like keep going with the same skills, and trying to tap the guy and try to figure out a way like to be in the front of the guy, and to get a submission on the guy, or if you don't get a submission, get a good position to like don't let the guy tap you out, So it's pretty hard. It's not easy, It's sometimes it's not fun as well,
Right.
It's like very intense, but that's what you need to do.
Well, one of the big things why you're such a crowd favorite as well is you're a finisher. You're not a points guy.
Yeah.
You're a guy who wants to, if it's going down, you want to submit it.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
That's the goal of this fight, to win the fight. You need to submit, and I want to win, so I will seek the submission.
What's your favorite? Do you like getting guys' backs? Do you guys? What's your favorite move of them all?
I like to take the back. I like to take the back. I like chokes. I like that. But whatever the guy offer me, like I gotta go. So I gotta be ready for every single situation, and I gotta be ready too for like if Cheal like try to set up some good submission as well. I gotta be ready like to defend myself as well.
Let's talk a little bit, Andre, about your training.
Mm-hmm.
A typical day for Andre Galvao.
Yeah.
I know you have multiple sessions during a day that you're doing, and what time do you start? What's kind of your daily routine?
Yeah, I start like in the morning. I wake up like 7:30 a.m. I have a good breakfast, and then I go to the beach, and then I run. I do like I run on the Mission Bay, and I run, and I do like some days I do sprints, some days I do like a body weight training, like circuit, like things like that. I always like to work out like outside, most like it's good for my mind, especially in the summertime in the beautiful San Diego as well.
Right.
So I start my day, and then I feel good. And then right after that, 11 a.m., I go to my gym, and there I train with my students. We have a competition team class from 11 to 1.
Okay.
And that part, like, we train really intense. And then after that, I go shower, rest, help, like, my guys with some positions if they ask something. And then I go home, rest, enjoy my family, stay with my daughter right now. She's on vacation.
Great.
It's from school, summertime, and I enjoy my family. And after that, around like 5 p.m., I go back to my gym, and 6 p.m. I teach a jiu-jitsu class. I teach a class for my students, like with the gi. And then 7:30, I train again, no gi, with everyone. And then from 7:30 to 9:15 we stay there like training, and sparring and doing like at night I do more like drills, but at the end we always do like some intense training as well.
Do you so even when you're training for a match like this, which is no gi, you're still wearing the gi and still
yeah, I put the gi every day.
Beautiful.
Yeah,
beautiful, because that helps on everything, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm a jiu-jitsu fighter, I need to wear the gi. And if you're a black belt, you cannot be a black belt doing just no gi, you know.
Right.
I think you need to know gi. That's my philosophy. That's the way I think, and I think like if I wanna have a good technique, you know, be sharp, I need to wear my gi, you know, and that's what I do. I teach every day with the gi. I train sometimes, you know, with my students, just to relax a little bit, you know. I feel like good.
Do you are you a guy that like? Do you have a game plan with Cheal going in? Or are you open to anything? And the next question is, do you have a prediction of what's going to happen?
When I fight, I don't really have like strategy, you know. I just gotta flow into the fight. I just gotta keep going because I don't know what can happen, you know. Cheal Sonnen can pull guard, you know. I don't know. He can do whatever. He can surprise me, you know. You know, I gotta just be ready for any situation, you know. Of course, like it's not gonna be that way, probably, you know. But that's what can happen, you know. So I gotta be ready for every single situation, top or bottom, side, you know, bad situation, good situation, you know. And I think Cheal, he'll try to keep the pace during the fight, using his weight on top, you know, try to put the pressure. And then I think I need to be aware with the guillotines, you know, like I don't want to let him like go around my neck or things like that, or like snap me down and get me a headlock or something like that, you know, because he's a wrestler and the wrestlers are really good on that. And I gotta pay attention on my shots as well, you know. If I shoot like on his leg, I gotta pay attention on the headlocks, you know.
Right.
So just like be aware with the guillotines, kimuras, you know, and because he's really strong, you know, so and heavy, so I gotta just be aware with that.
And you visualize yourself, don't you, with your hand raised, of course, at the end of each fight.
Yeah, every day.
Yeah,
every day. So especially in the last 3 weeks, 2 weeks of the fight, always I visualize myself like fighting. You know, I visualize myself like going through the submission and celebrating, you know, afterwards. So I like to do that. I feel the adrenaline already.
Yeah, it's so important to visualize that, isn't it? And you can feel the stage, you can feel the people, right?
Yeah.
The atmosphere.
Yeah, everything starts like that, you know. I think when you have a dream, when you have a goal, you need to have the vision first, you know. After the vision, the goal comes, you know. So to conquer something, I believe you need to have this.
Well, everybody, we are in studio. We've got 2 more great segments coming up. It's Carlos Kremer's Kick-Ass Radio Show. We've got the champ, Andre Galvao, the professor, the master of disaster. He's here live in studio on WS.com, your internet leader. Oh, yeah. For those jiu-jitsu nerds out there, people that just live and die jiu-jitsu, people that love MMA, people that are just inspired, you know, we've got the man, the myth, Andre Galvao in studio, and we're getting to know Andre on a personal level that everybody can share, you know, and everybody gets to know Andre because you've seen him, you know, and followed his career and watched his fights, and to have you in studio today has been such a blessing, Andre. We're going over Metamoris, Andre's personal life, and a whole lot more. So thank you, Andre, for joining us.
My pleasure.
Man, it's been great. You know, we're going already. The phone lines are lighting up. Wade's in the back telling me we've got a caller on the line 2. Let us know what's up. How can we help you? Hi.
Hi, yeah, I have a question for Andre, please.
Okay, go right ahead. He is right here.
I'm here, yeah.
Hey, Andre, I understand you train Chris Cyborg here, like, you know, the best in the business, and I understand your wife's director is very accomplished in jiu-jitsu as well. My question is, I'm wondering what you see happening professionally for women in jiu-jitsu. The UFC fight participant is so imbalanced, and there just seems not to be a fighter out there who can take her, and hopefully Chris is that now, but where do you see this start going for women?
Like what I feel about like the women's training jiu-jitsu? That's what you were asking me because you couldn't.
Where do you see this professionally going for women?
Yeah, I think it's growing, you know, a lot. Before in jiu-jitsu, we used to see like just all the women fighting together, you know, like purple belts. Like it was like purple, brown, and black belt fighting all together. You know, right now it's all separate. So that's like we can see how the the women's jiu-jitsu is growing, my wife, she won the awards right now as a brown belt, fighting only against brown belts, because before it used to be like all together, and in the last like 3-4 years, they start to separate the women. So that means like is growing, and she had like 4 fights, So right now, for a woman to be a champion in jiu-jitsu, like you need to fight like 4 or 5 fights, at least 4 fights, which is like a lot of fights, and a lot of women's there in each division, and I believe like it's growing a lot. In the MMA as well, we see like a lot of women's like fighting MMA, and we have like Chris Cyborg, we have Ronda Rousey, we have all these girls like Gina Carano is gonna come back right now, and they all train jiu-jitsu, because if you fight MMA, you need to know jiu-jitsu as well, and at my school we have like girls training as well, a lot of women, and I have a lot of ladies, which is like their kids train at my place, and they train as well, they stay for the adults class, and it's kind of like nice to see like mom and kid like train together, so I think like jiu-jitsu is a passion fight, like everybody likes jiu-jitsu. When you start to train jiu-jitsu, you enjoy, and the jiu-jitsu for women is very natural, because the women's like they're more flexible than us, they're flexible, they're more aggressive, like they fight, they go hard,
technical,
and, they're more technical, they have more patience, and they can see many things, like when they fight, they see like a lot of things going on, like the women pay attention everything. And the jiu-jitsu for women is a little bit different, If you see, like they play more close guard, they play more on their knees, like they don't move as fast as a man, but because their flexibility, they have like more the real jiu-jitsu style, So it's pretty beautiful to see a woman fighting, I really enjoy that.
And you brought up a great point, too. Chris Cyborg was in studio a couple weeks ago here.
Oh, cool.
She was fantastic and, of course, pumped you up big time as her professor. My personal opinion on Dana White signing Gina Carano, it's getting a little ridiculous now, in my mind. Yeah. The best fighter out there available to challenge Ronda Rousey is Chris Cyborg. Yeah. We all want to see it, and if the world shouts out enough, I think Dana's going to bend and get her that opportunity.
Yeah, I think like what's happened right now is Dana is protecting Ronda. I think he's building Ronda's confidence. You see like each single fight, Ronda is getting better. Ronda is getting better and better each single fight. She's getting more experience, The girls who's there, like I believe, like they don't have the caliber of Ronda Rousey right now. The only one who can fight and who can do something against her is Chris Cyborg. But I believe like Dana White is just like holding this for later on. This fight is gonna happen, but he just want to make sure Ronda gets ready for the fight. I think he knows like she's not yet ready yet.
Right.
That's why he's putting like he's doing that. He's a businessman. He knows how to do that, and he knows how to react with make the fans like interact. During the fights. Things like that, and he's gonna do that for the fans, of course. But I believe like it's gonna take a little while still.
Well, and I wanted to thank our caller for calling in. We appreciate the support on the show. Thank you so much. And she is gone. So that's perfect. Andre, getting back to that, Chris Cyborg, I've talked to different people who have said, man, you have no idea. She throws men around the gym. When she's training. People really do not know. And when she was on the show, Andre, just the sweetest gal I've ever talked to. You really wouldn't. And even about, we talked about some of the things like, hey, some of the media's sometimes outlash and been kind of mean on certain occasions. Yeah. And she's like, God has a path for me. As long as he's in my corner, I'm okay.
Yeah.
I love that, and you live by the same word, don't you?
Yes, I do, and I believe a lot in this, as well. I think everything which I have right now is a blast. It just needs to be patient, for the things. I think we always talk, me and Chris, we always talk, and she sometimes she got like little down, and then I try to like put her up, and she's like very perseverant,
right?
And she knows that. She knows like in the right time, the right way it's gonna happen, like in the right time. So she's always like training so intense, like when I wake up, she already finished her first training session, like Chris, like she starts running like 6 a.m., 5 a.m., she trains like as a champion, she's amazing, and I believe she deserves, to be there, and she deserves to fight Ronda one day,
What happens when Chris Cyborg goes against another brown belt? She's a brown belt under you, correct?
Yeah, she's a brown belt, yeah.
What happens, like, when she spars with another brown belt woman in jiu-jitsu? Is she just too overpowering and cardio and everything else that she prevails?
Yeah, as all MMA fighters, she has a better no-gi, than gi. She has a way better no-gi jiu-jitsu. And sometimes when she trains with the guys there, she frustrates the guys,
Well, she won worlds, right? As a purple belt.
She won purple and brown. She won both.
Both, purple and brown. Yeah. And we didn't say Andre Galvao, your wife, what's amazing, is a brown belt world champion.
Yeah.
So check that out. And then what really was cool is that you gave her black belt on the podium.
Yeah.
Was she even expecting that? Or kind of? If she won?
I think she expected that.
Like, honey, if I win this.
Yeah. But I never say that. I didn't put like any pressure on her. I just like train her and say, look, go there and do your job, do your best, and you're ready, and let's do it. And then she did like 4 fights, great, like she fight easy, like good, and I thought like, man, this is the time now. Let's move on. Let's see what's going to happen in the black belt right now.
Awesome. Where can you train with a husband and wife, both world champions? I mean, that's pretty unique. We're going over a lot of things. We've got Metamoris 4 coming up. Cheal Sonnen, Andre Galvao. We've got Josh Barnett versus Dean Lister.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Right? That's going to be fun to watch. We have any thoughts? I mean, I know you've trained quite a bit with the boogeyman,
yes.
Dean Lister, so you know his style. What do you think about that fight?
I would cheer for Dean. I really like Dean. Dean's a amazing fighter, and of course Josh Barnett is a very strong guy, heavy, and his jiu-jitsu is really good. In MMA, like most of his fights, he finished the guys. He's a finisher. He goes to the heel hooks as well, but I believe like he can do that against Dean.
Well, and we're talking Josh Barnett is probably going to go into there at about 270 pounds plus.
Yes.
Right? But Dean's a big guy, too. He's about 230, 235. So
Dean's good, man. I think it's going to be like a good fight, and I believe like Dean's going to lock him up.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's been 15 years since Dean's been submitted.
Yes.
In a major fight?
Yes.
It's amazing to talk. We have the ability right now. We're talking Metamoris 4 and a whole lot more with the champ, Andre Galvao, in studio. Owner of Atos Jiu-Jitsu as well. We're blessed to have him. Carlos Kremer's Kick-Ass Radio Show. You're listening to WSRadio.com, the worldwide leader in Internet talk. All right, we're back in studio. The man, the myth. He is here, everybody. The champ, Andre Galvao. We're having a blast. We're going over Metamoris and a whole lot more. We had a caller that called in to me the other day and left a message. Her name was Tracy, and she said, "You know what? You're kind of a guy. You're a little rough around the edges to me." And she said, "I want to challenge you to something." I said, "What?" She said, "I'd like you to sing Neil Diamond a little bit to me to show a sensitive side." So here we go. You don't bring me flowers. You hardly talk to me anymore. when I come through the door at the end of the day. How was that?
Wow.
All right, me and Andre are going to sing karaoke right after the show.
I love karaoke, you know.
Isn't that great?
Yeah, man, I love it.
Right, where everybody's a superstar.
Yeah.
Behind the mic. Hey, Andre, on the break we were talking a little bit about your great friend and student, Keenan Cornelius.
Yes.
Tell us about that union, on how that got together. Mm-hmm. And, you know, what you were talking about, when people come to you in your gym, mm-hmm. they have already a record that you have to look at for their experience.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Keenan, he's with me for a year and a half right now. He joined last Pan Am's last year. It was like March last year, and it was like 1 year and a half right now. But after a year with me, not even a year, I couldn't hold him anymore, like as a brown belt, you know, because he was like killing everyone, winning everything, you know, beating up everyone.
And when you say everyone, brown, black, I mean whoever he was going against,
like, and if I just hold the guy, I could like ruin his career, you know. So I say, man, he proved for all the world already. He's like the best brown belt, you know. So he cannot be a brown belt anymore. So and then he got promoted last September, you know, last year in the gym anniversary. He got his black belt, and since then, like he's showing he's a black belt. You know, he beat already like black belts world champions. Braulio Estima, Leandro Law, you know, and these guys are already like Braulio is 4 times black belt world champion, and Leandro Law is like 3 times black belt world champion, you know, and Kina beat them, and he made like an incredible fight against Buchecha, you know, in the last words, and also in the World Pro. It was like a tight fight, you know, and a really tight fight, and you know, he's proving the world like he's good. You know, he has the caliber to be a black belt, you know.
And he's what, 22?
Yeah, he's 22.
Unbelievable. How is that with your training sessions with him? I mean, that must be incredible. You push each other.
Yeah, we push. Kina, he has a great mindset, you know, like when he trains, when he fights, when he's like doing the training session, you know, he's a very good fighter. He find a way to like make his body be like how can I say, like be like in the right spot, you know, to control the fight, and he doesn't expend too much energy when he fights, you know, when he train. That's the way he is, you know, and he figure out like positions. He's an incredible fight, you know. He's an incredible fighter, and is very intense when you fight. You know, it's hard. You know, every day like we train, and it's pretty intense. You know.
Well, when he says pretty intense, that means off the Richter scale of anybody else out there on what you think intense is. Vinny Magalhaes, who's a very accomplished jiu-jitsu fighter as well, that's going to be a great fight.
Yeah.
That's going to be a great fight. We've got, you know, as well, we have to mention that Saulo Ribeiro is fighting against Comprido Medeiros. Mm-hmm. Wow, what a battle that's going to be. And you're tight with both of those guys.
Yeah. Saulo he has a very good jiu-jitsu. He works with a lot of pressure, you know. Comprido, back in the day, in the 2000s, you know, 1999, he used to be like the man, like Roger Grace, like Buchecha is today, you know. And it's going to be a pretty nice fight, pretty good fight. And Saulo in the last couple Masters Wars, like he used to dominate like everyone.
Right.
You know? So I want to see that. It's going to be 20 minutes. Let's see how they are, you know, how sharp they are in the conditioning.
Metamoris 4, everybody. I've got my tickets. I'm going to be there. I'm actually going to be doing a little reporting from there as well.
Nice.
So, yeah, I'm excited. Andre, I really quickly wanted to talk to you about your upbringing. I mean, what got you into jiu-jitsu? You joined forces with TT, Tererê, and my master, Eduardo Telles.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about how that was back in the day.
Yeah, I got in. I wasn't one of the first guys who joined the Tererê team. You know, Tererê, like he opened his gym with Eduardo Telles in 2003. And when I was a purple belt, my first instructor, his name is Luis Carlos Dagmar Careca. He said, man, you don't have the good training here. Because I used to live in a small town. And then he said, man, you got to go train somewhere like which you can go train against the best guys, with the best guys in the world. And then we thought about Tererê, you know, because we had a friend like training with Tererê and Léo Vieira and Damian Maia. Everybody we used to train all together, you know.
Jacare involved too?
Jacare was there too, you know.
Wow, what beast, son. Yes. Daily, you're going in with legends.
Yeah, Robert Drysdale, all these guys, you know, Lucas Lepre, you know, all these guys. They used to be purple belts, brown belts, and some of them was already black belt, like Damian Maia and Telles and Tererê, you know. And I started training there, and then I was a purple belt in 2003. And after I joined there, like, man, like my career goes like in the next level, you know. Like Tererê really showed me like a good jiu-jitsu. I used to do like I used to train with him. Private lessons like every day, you know.
Wow.
And we used to live in the same house, you know. We used to live like in the same room, you know, and we used to stay like together like all day, you know, talking about jiu-jitsu, like watching jiu-jitsu, training jiu-jitsu. And we live like in the third floor. The gym was in the first floor, so we just like take the elevator, goes to the mat, and train. Like no matter what day it was, like sometimes Sunday, sometimes Saturday, sometimes on the holidays, you know, we say like, let's go train right now a little bit. Yeah, let's go, and boom, we in there and train, you know. And also like conditioning and everything. So it was amazing and a great experience, and I definitely like learned a lot with it today, you know, about tournaments, about techniques, you know, and he teach me a lot.
And how nice is it for you to see all your old buddies kind of coming out to San Diego, right? And they have their own schools, and
it's crazy.
Isn't that great?
Yeah,
your families can hang out and be together. And
it's great, you know. Like Telles is here, and Telles back in the day, he was like, he supported me a lot. Like he was kind of like a sponsor for me, you know, because sometimes we didn't have like the money to keep like training and things like that, and Telles always support us, you know. He's a great man, a guy with a big heart,
huge heart.
Definitely like he has a part of my success as well.
Well, and he speaks totally, you know, huge in favor of you, always in your friendship and what you mean to each other.
Yeah.
You know, you've got so many things going on. A quick question that I'd be remiss if I didn't ask. MMA in your future again?
Yes, like I really like MMA, but I think because I have my school, I have my studio, you know.
Right.
And I need to take care of people. I need to take care of lives. I need to take care of my students. I need to give advice for them. I need to be there every single day, help them, teach them. It's kind of like hard for me. I need to turn my back for all of them to start to do my MMA again. So I think right now I need to just be in jiu-jitsu.
You know what, everybody? It has been another amazing show. We've had Andre Galvao, who's fighting in Metamoris 4, going against Cheal Sonnen. Atos Jiu-Jitsu. Check it out in San Diego. He's got a fan page. Go on the internet and the website. Champ, it's been a pleasure having you.
Oh, no problem, man. So you guys are great. Thank you so much for the opportunity, you know. If you guys have any questions, AndreGalvao.com.
There it is. Hit it up. Carlos Kremer's Kick-Ass Radio Show on WS.com. Your leader in Internet talk.